I'm talking about a rusty how-to. Rusty how-to. How-to cousins, it's Rusty. How you do? Hope you're doing okay. This video, I'm going to show you, it's been 5.5 weeks since Hurricane Helene came through this area and caused massive destruction. I'm going to go to a couple communities to show you what does it look like after over a month of work. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you some stuff that I got at a thrift store just yesterday that I'm fixing to list and give you some ideas of stuff you can maybe look for as well. Let's do it. I'm up here at the top of Bee Tree Road. Hi, puppy dog. Hi there. You're a sweet one. It's really gorgeous up here. You can see kind of the mountains. It's a really beautiful area, but it has just been so destroyed. This bridge has had some work done on it, but if you'll look over here, just this entire area, this is where the water came running through from the top here when it overflowed with the Bee Tree reservoir, and it has just cut out this entire section here and a large section of the road here. You can see this has been redone. We got people still cutting, but look at just this hillside here where the trees have just been mowed down by winds and possibly tornadoes. Unbelievable. There's someplace else, but at the same time, like you said, things are going to happen, and if it's a risk, it's a risk, right? It's like a risk / reward. Look what I spied from up here, just hanging out down there. Some kind of bottle. Looks like maybe a Coke bottle. I'm not sure. Look at all those trees down. A tornado came through here and just mowed half of it down. Look at this landscape. Before the storm came in, this creek was about 8 feet wide at the most. Now it's 100 feet wide, taking everything with it in its path. So sad. Trees down. It's just hard to fathom how many of these have come down. Water came through this entire area. It was on both sides of the road. You can see the stains, the height of the water on these houses from the river behind. Buildings destroyed. Bridges washed away. This is what remains of a section. The part I'm on right here, this gravel, this was all a section of road that was completely taken out by the water. Completely washed away. All of this is now reduced to a tiny stream like it used to be. Still just debris over here. This whole side of the road here is It's a beautiful day still. Alright, now we're coming up on a church that was completely destroyed. And very sad. Look at this. Still the contents on the inside. It went through this whole area, completely flooded the church. Bee Tree Christian Church. Washed all through this, cut through here, washed the road away, washed all this debris up there, washed a lot of this away, washed that road away, and they're still working on it over here. You can see just homes destroyed, crumpled into heaps. and then it cut across again, took this road out. All through here's the aftermath of where it came across, right here. It's a beautiful old vintage car that was completely washed over here and thrown up against some trees. You can see major damage coming through here. Over here, look at this was all just dirt and grass. It's now reduced to rock. There's an old vintage car. I wonder if this one came from right out of their home, or right underneath the thing. But here we are. This is all the debris and junk running down through here. And if I keep walking, it's a really cool vintage vehicle there. And this is where we're at. All of this, as you can see, there was just a tiny little stream here at one point. And you can see all this rock. All this rock was dirt. All of it has just been washed away. Homes with it, vehicles. Now it's all just debris, giant, canyons in the middle of the creek here. Vehicles stranded. Unbelievable. We're up on top of a mountain, folks. We're up on top of a mountain. This isn't even in the valley. This is just down from the reservoir. So I'm zooming up north to where towards where the reservoir is. You can see all the debris down there and stuff that washed down through. And you can see all this is graded and things because this was all just destroyed. And what used to be a small little creek bed is now, you can see how this has all been cut out. The riverbank just completely washing roads away, driveways. And look how wide it has become now. And even further on down, homes that were closer to the river were completely washed away or basically totaled and destroyed. Water was way up there into the hillside. There's just debris and trash. You can see a chair right down there amongst other debris that probably came from someone's house being broken up. All down through here. All of this. More debris, stuff littered. Cut down through. Got a gentleman over here. Trash. Getting trash out of here. And even further down, just tearing up all the way down the mountain. So, you see the little stream over here? That's what it used to look like. And now, with large vehicles and other parts, it's now this large. And I've seen it in the very middle of it, where it has been carved out. Down here, found a little piece of a brick in the very center of this very wide creek now. Got a gentleman up here. He's working on clearing out some trash and stuff from his yard. Completely ruined his farm, the poor gentleman. It's just absolutely unreal how much water came through here. section, a bridge, and this is what they call Old Bee Tree Road. I was on Bee Tree Road up towards the reservoir there a moment ago, and now I'm going to take a look and see what this bridge area is looking like. All right, this is looking up north. You know, if you didn't know what had happened, it would look quite beautiful and tranquil at times, but it just didn't look like this before. You can see the water came in. It cut up over the banks where I'm at, all the way down here, destroyed things in its path, obviously, came through, and I believe this debris was pulled off. It kind of went up against that and then acted as a ramp, so the water came up and over. And then if I approach the bridge here and take you to see, now everyone on this other side over here was cut off. Roads were washed out. You couldn't get through. You can see that the water here came through, pipes exposed. Down here it's bad, and then it came up really heavily on this side, and then you can see this building here completely washed out, knocked off its foundation. You got vehicles in the distance that are destroyed, and then this carnage just continues for another couple of miles all the way down. Anything that was, you know, this far over in the low spots was destroyed on both sides, all the way up and down. It's a beautiful view, but if I zoom up the tops of the mountains, this is just one example, you can see massive 100 yards, multiple 100-yard mudslides up on the mountain, and just these trees that just look like twigs, just snapped off, twisted, knocked down. Luckily there were no homes up there, but many homes around here had this same situation, mudslides, not to mention the heavy water that you've already seen. This is an interesting view here. You can see we've got this is for the pipe here that clearly was completely exposed, and you can see that's completely been replaced. It has washed out an entire new valley essentially through here, and of course this has been graded and more dirt has been brought in. It was just down to rock, and it was super wide. As you can see, they had to completely put in new piping, new concrete, a new clean out or access point. You still have trees and debris all over, and this is all the way across. And just look at the valley now. This is why homes were washed away. This is why people got surprised, because of the massive, not only was it this wide, folks, but it was several feet high. I was told that by a gentleman this morning up by the reservoir, a person who works for the police department, that right there at the reservoir, when the water was coming down, the water was shooting up over the power lines right at the bottom of the reservoir itself. And then it just continued that level all the way down here, all the way down into the valley, meeting up with the Swananoa River and all the rest of this North Fork section. All right, folks, now I'm going to take you down the road here to a really awesome spot where donations are being delivered and dispersed to people. It's a church, and I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of information about what they're doing, so that I can get this stuff down, documented on some paper, and get it to some local schools to send home, like in kiddos' backpacks and stuff, to let them know that there's a place locally that they can come and get supplies and other things that we need. Got a little church here that's got a big old donation area set up here. I'm going to stop in and just tell them thanks for the work that they're doing. Kind of I don't have to get you in it if you don't want, but you know, just to, no, that's great.
So
cool.
People will come in right down here.
Mm-hmm.
They'll follow the cones, come in through here. Right now, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. We've got a food truck right down here.
Mm-hmm.
They're serving right now. They're serving breakfast, biscuits, gravy, eggs, whatever.
Great.
Fried bologna, I think. We have a huge need for volunteers. So if you have a resource to get volunteers, we have a huge need for volunteers. If you see all this is all clothes. A lot of it's new, it's nice, it's great clothes, but it's being rained on and it's mildewing. And so we've got to do something with it. People are so generous, but we cannot handle it. So I'll show you down here.
Yeah.
This used to be where we had all the hanging clothes, but it was just collapsing and not well made. And so we're using it right now simply as for storage. So this is all clothes that is gotten wet, and we're trying to get through as fast as we can. So this is all clothes. All of this, under all these tarps are closed. So all of this needs to be moved in here. All of this needs to be gone through and sorted to size. The mildew stuff thrown out. So you can see it's a huge, huge job.
Right.
But that's like the volunteer side of it. As far as the experience people will have is they'll come in through the door through there from 9. I think the hours might change next week, but because the volunteers are getting tired. And it's a small, the thing here is it's a very small church with a small staff. And so the same people have been working here for 6 weeks.
Sure.
And they're exhausted.
Sure.
They'll come up, fill out their form. We'll have people to talk to, and then volunteers will go. This is all bedding, so all different sizes of sheets, pillows, blankets. We've got some extra stuff outside that has yet to be moved in. And through here we've got, I would say we're short on some sizes of shoes, but I don't know that because they're still in bins. But everything is divided by size here. So you can see we're utilizing underneath for storage. So we've got shoes, women's on this side, men's on this side, all the way through here. Extra like bleach, supplies, that kind of stuff. So we're trying to put extra things underneath the trailer into which it will go once we run out of that inventory.
Okay.
And we'll come to the side. This is all of our cleaning supplies, paper products. So it's all been organized so we can find what we need.
Yeah.
And here we have baby supplies, formula, diapers, baby blankets, that kind of stuff. These tents, we've got things like sleeping bags, so you can see it bulging out here. We've got sleeping bags. Volunteer need would be, all this. We're having bears. We have a bunch of bears around, and bears are getting into this at night.
Oh.
And so you get back and you're like, well, there are signs of bears. Someone will come to them, and they will give them supplies, whatever they need. And here we have our food supplies. The trailers are each one numbered, so we can say go to trailer 4, go to trailer, whatever. So this is food supplies. There are more canned goods. This is more like protein bars and drink stuff and paper products. Here we've got pet supplies. This is supposed to become kind of a little bit of everything, so that it's so we don't have to run all over the whole site to get everything. This is all personal care products, hygiene and stuff that we have yet to get in somewhere.
Wow.
And then you'll see personal hygiene written up there. Here we've got a lot of the stuff that's in high demand: stoves, grills, charcoal. That's the stuff that we might be lower on. You see there's not nearly as much explosion of that stuff.
Bunch of stoves.
We're short on generators. We're constantly getting requests for generators that we do not have.
Kids. Man.
And then in here we have I hate that tents open from the bottom. Now, every time you get here, you have to see where somebody put the zipper.
Yep, at the top.
At the top. So this is
toys.
if kids want to go shopping, find toys, etc. So also an area that could definitely use some organization so you can find what you're looking for. We do not have them here, but I'm told there's 4 more big trailers like that of supplies on another location.
Wow.
That have not yet to be brought here because we just do not have that we need to handle it. So this is the area that I would say is probably had the most love and attention. Everything here is divided by size, gender, but as you saw, there's a massive amount of stuff down there to bring up here. So the plan is to have this set up well enough that volunteers, when we're gone, because we have to leave today, volunteers when we're gone can look around and see labels and see where to put.
Well, folks, here's a few things that I've come across recently that I need to get out and try to work on and sell. these are some antique cufflinks that are gold filled. That means that there's a small coating of gold on the outside of it, but it's a basic alloy on the inside. And they're cool little pairs. We've got a couple of little pins and pendants in there as well. And then look at all of these different kinds of antique pocket watch chains and fobs. So, you know, you got ones kind of like this that's kind of like a gold tone color, a certain style. There's so many different styles of the chain themselves. This one's pretty cool looking here like this. It's got a different colored snapping part on there, but the clip, here's another one. You can see that chain's even a little bit different. That's a gold filled piece. Simmons is the brand on that one. This is cool, just a tiny little fob, and you got almost like a fake or like a replica coin type thing there on the end. So that's interesting. Here's one, same kind of size, but instead what you've got here is this wouldn't be the fob by itself, this would go on to it, but what you've got is a little key here for key wind pocket watches, and this is they come in different sizes, and this would be size number 5. And so that's cool to have. There's another one in here. Oh yeah, this one again, different thing. And you got this little piece here on the end that's connected. It would have been put on later, and it's this little I don't even know what these initials stand for, but I do know that on the back of it, it says sterling. So that's a sterling silver, kind of like a fob on the end of that one. And others, you know, there's some cool ones in there. There's probably 5 or 6. I can sell those all individually. Here we've got a nice little pin with some different types of stones kind of mounted in there. Here is a pair of silver tone, if not some silver, cinnabar, carved cinnabar centerpiece. These are definitely more vintage earrings. And then a couple of these little carved pieces that are Asian carved. I think that these are made out of turquoise, although I'm not sure, and I'm not exactly even sure what this design is supposed to be other than just sort of floral and that sort of thing. Over here we have some individual watches without bands. This is an Elgin. It's in very good shape, looks like it, but it doesn't actually. This is an automatic, or it's a wind one, but it's overwound, so you can't actually turn it anymore. So that's a problem. It needs some repair. All of these need repair or in some rough shape. Like this one, this Elgin, it works, but man, look at the face on that. Look at the dial on that. It's just it's heavily corroded and tarnished from time. This is a cool little, I don't actually know, it might say on the back. This is maybe an Elgin as well. Oops, and of course I drop it. Yes, so if we look up close here, if we can get it to zoom. Oh, come on now. Help me out, camera. Okay, so we're looking at, it says 17 jewels, and the brand is, I can't tell. All right, well, it does work though. If you wind it, it will work. And then we got several others in here. Watches. Now, I love selling watches because provided they're in good shape, like the crystal isn't scratched, and you know, it works. Even if it needs a new battery, it can sell. This is a very ridiculous, over-the-top, glitzy kind of men's watch. It's got crystals all around here. This is like, you know, like high society kind of stuff here. And then we got some other nice brands, some Citizen watches, some Seiko watches. This is cool. We got like a fake, like a copy of an old gold coin in a thing. Here's an Armatron brand, but it's got a chronograph face here, and so these will all sell. People like watches. People still wear a bunch of watches, and so that market is still good. And in here, I've also got this is really cool. Let me pull it out and show you. Look at this beautiful, this is angel skin coral. And anytime I try to photograph angel skin coral, it turns out looking more orange than it really is. This is more of a pinkish, definitely some orange hues. But this is, look at these individually carved pieces of coral with holes strung through with these metal wires around in a bracelet, and you got this kind of guard chain on here. But this is made to look like a belt buckle, as you can see. And so like this would go inside there and hold it, and it would look like a buckle. But these are also carved almost like cabochon shaped pieces that have been glued on a long time ago. It's an older piece, but this is unique. I've never seen one like this. I definitely think someone's going to want this. It's going to sell for a decent price. And so these are some of just the little things that I got to sell. And I'll sell each of these, probably the watches individually, and then I may put these in like a small lot. A few other cool things that I got at a thrift store yesterday are these boots. They are leather. They're genuine leather. They're nice. You can see that they're a size 10.5. And then it's the zip side boot, but then you got this nice, comfortable area down in here. To me, that would just make it be like a hot box. It just make my feet sweat. But some people like that, I guess. But this is to keep your feet warm. They're in really great shape. Barely been worn, so those are going to sell. And then these were exciting too. These are also boots. They're a little bit smaller size, black leather, same zipper side, but you open them up and man, these things are like pristine. See if I can zoom in here. Again, you got information here on the size. These are like European sizes, but down in here it says Barracuda, and it says made in Italy. And then way down up in there, there's another, down in there it says made in Italy. These are Italian leather boots that are just gorgeous. Barely been used. Let's look at the back here and see. So you can see that like we got Barracuda here, made in Italy, size 42. I don't know what the American size equivalent is. I'll have to look it up. But look at the heel. These are either have barely been used or have never been used. Like this could have just been like, oh, I'm just walking in the store. But these are like handmade, hand fitted together soles. Boots like this I've already seen online can sell $200 to $300, believe it or not. I don't know if that'll bring this much, but I paid $15 for these, so I'm excited to see what they bring. And then if I move these boogers out of the way, there's a couple other cool things. This is like a women's like clutch or a purse. I paid $25 for it, but you can see this also is handmade. It's genuine leather. I'll zoom in here. There you go. You can see that. Made in Italy, genuine leather, and it also looks like it hasn't hardly been used at all. Nice leather. This thing kind of, it's almost like a buckle. Or not a buckle, but like a, you know what I mean, it kind of slides in there. And so I don't know if like how many people want something that looks like this, but it's definitely made out of good materials, and that helps with the cost, or with the likelihood it'll sell for good money. And then this is the brand is Dooney and Burke. Dooney and Burke, and this is also a very nice bag. This is more like a laptop or like a kind of briefcase type carry-on leather bag. You push these in, both of these pinch in, it pops open here, and then if you open this booger up here, you'll see it's barely been used too, and it's got the original package inside and a carry-on strap. So this is this is going to sell decently. It's a nice color leather, the two-tone black and brown. It's got a nice medallion. It just looks professional, it looks nice, and it's in really good shape. So we're going to get these things up. It's even got its little hang tag here. That's nice. I don't buy a ton of leather goods, but I just happened to, they were not, their prices on jewelry and stuff have just skyrocketed. It's no longer worth it to buy that kind of thing there at this particular place. But I found these and was happy that I did. Thank you folks for watching this video. I hope it gives you an idea of just what we're dealing with here. Please let people know if there's anyone who wants to donate something. There's a GoFundMe that I started that's in the description. You can email us at slickwebmedia@gmail.com if you have other ideas or you want to find other ways you can support. Also, check out our podcast, the What's Sold podcast, where we talk about this stuff in more detail, and we also talk about the stuff that we're selling as well. But thanks so much for your support, folks. Cousins, we're all cousins here. Doesn't matter who's in the White House, doesn't matter what all's going out on. Let's just try to support one another and be kind, and we'll get through this. Talk to you soon. Let's go find some treasures. Rusty, how to